The video you're about to watch is on playing by ear. It's pretty awesome. It's free, but if you want to go further with the topic, you should check out the Play by Ear bundle that is available this week only. Instructor Chris Lipe and I have put together a massive course on ear training, intervals, chord recognition, complex chord progressions, translating your thoughts into music. It's all in there, but it's available this week only. All right, check it out. The link is below. Let's get into today's video. Alright, so you pick up the guitar, you are ready to jam over something. Your to-go scale is the pentatonic scale. Minor pentatonic for a minor chord, major pentatonic for a major chord, minor pentatonic when you have no clue. It sounds okay, but there is more that you can do, and it starts here with your ear. Grab your guitar, we're gonna get started. We're gonna explore modal colors. It's way simpler than you think. I'll meet you right after this. Hello, my name is David from the Wallman Guitar Artistry. Welcome to this channel, which is all about helping guitar players around the world develop their musical personality on the instrument. You have a beautiful story to say. This channel is the channel to learn how to say it. All right, this is the third video of a series of videos that teach you how to play by ear, how to play lead guitar by ear without spending too much time in theory land. And I love theory land, but we're not doing that today. We are talking about developing sounds with modes. And that's a scary topic. It doesn't have to be. A mode is a scale. Same thing. Let's not get into details. It's just a series of notes that allow you to express yourself over particular backing tracks. All right. If you have not watched parts 1 and 2, I recommend that you do so. In part 1, we talked about intervals. The main thing about music is intervals. That's what gives color to sounds, and that's what allows you to express yourself. In the second video, yesterday, we talked about the two most important scales, the pentatonic scales, which allow you to play over so many things, but we also saw that a pentatonic scale, a 5-note scale, is not complete. There are two missing notes within the 7 intervals that we covered in the first video. 2 missing notes in the pentatonic scales. And that's what we're talking about. We're going to use some backing tracks. Now, these backing tracks, as you know, if you've watched other videos on the channel, can be downloaded for free. The link is below. Sign up once, and you'll get access to the assets of this video and many other videos on the channel. I've said that many times before. Okay, let's take a look at the minor pentatonic scale, which is, if you had to know any scale, it's that one, because that'll work on minor chords, but sometimes major chords too, which I hinted at last video yesterday. Let's start with the minor pentatonic scale. We're going to consider that we're an A. A is right here, low E string, 5th fret. Minor pentatonic means that it's going to work over a minor chord. Here's our pentatonic scale. We have frets 5-8, 5-7, 5-7, 5-7, 5-8, and 5-8. 5 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, repeated over and over. And if we looked at the intervals of that scale, we have a 1, the root, the magnet, that's the note that attracts all the other notes. That's the note that gives contact to the other notes, right? So we have a 1, a minor third. We knew that already, right? Because we're dealing with a minor chord. We're playing over a minor chord progression, so minor pentatonic scale. So 1, minor third, perfect 4th, perfect 5th, minor 7th. These 5 notes are safe notes. Now, if this is new for you, again, watch the previous 2 videos. We covered that. We have 5 notes. We have missing notes because we have 1, 3, 4, 5, 7. The 2 and the 6 are missing. Now, you know about major intervals and minor intervals, right? Because you watched video number 1. That means that we could add to a pentatonic scale a 2nd and a 6th. Major second, sure. Minor second, yeah. Major sixth, yeah. Minor sixth, yeah. Which one? Well, it depends. Sometimes the choice is completely up to you. Sometimes it's not. It's going to have to do with the chord you're playing over, or the chords you're playing over. If the chord progression you're playing over starts with a minor chord, like this one right here, that's minor, right? Minor pentatonic. Most of the time it's going to work. The second, we said it could be major or minor. Well, in this particular case, take my word for it, there's no indication as to which one to use, major or minor. The major one will sound like this, the minor like this. That works. Believe it or not, this works too. The minor second works too. It's completely up to you. What do you like? I like the major second. Most of the time that's what I'm going to use, because the minor second sounds a little tensed. Okay, so whenever I have the choice, I'll use the major second. The sixth is really going to give you the flavor of the scale. Now I'm going to tell you something, I'm going to make a generalization. It's not always true, but it's okay to believe that it always is. When it doesn't work, that's one of those exceptions. But I'm going to tell you a generalization here. When you're hearing a minor chord here, it's going to be one of two things. It's going to be Dorian or Aeolian. Weird names, sure, Greek names, it doesn't matter. Those are two sets of scales. Those are 7-note scales. They're very close to each other. And within these two scales, Aeolian and Dorian, you have a hidden minor pentatonic scale. In other words, the Dorian scale, Dorian mode, is a minor pentatonic, which you know because you watched video 2, with an additional second and sixth. Is it major second, major sixth, minor second, minor sixth? Well, you just have to learn that formula. It's major second, major sixth. And the Aeolian, in the same way, is a minor pentatonic scale with a major second in Dorian and Aeolian, which is why I always go with major second, and minor sixth. Most of the time it's going to be that. Yes, there are other scales. Yes, there are other modes that have a minor pentatonic scale with some form of second and sixth, Phrygian, for example. But most of the time it's going to be Dorian or Aeolian. And if you had to pick between Aeolian and Dorian, pick Dorian, because most of the time it's going to be Dorian. I'd say, honestly, 75% of the time you're going to be dealing with the Dorian mode when you hear a minor chord. The other 25% is going to be Aeolian, sometimes Phrygian. It's rare. So if you had to know one, especially if you're into blues rock, Dorian is your scale. Let's take a look at that Dorian scale. The Dorian mode is a minor pentatonic scale with an additional major second and major sixth. Where are those found? Well, you need to watch video 1, but I'll tell you real quick. Within this context of the first position of minor pentatonic scale, we have a major second right here between the 5th fret and the 8th fret, fret number 7. And whatever is played on the low E string can be played mirrored on the high E string. So you have that. And you also have the 6th, which is found on the 4th string, 4th fret, and the 2nd string, 7th fret. Altogether, this is the Dorian mode in that same position, and you'll recognize the 5 notes of the minor pentatonic scale. It's like this: frets 5, 7, 8, frets 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8. And when you improvise, phrase with minor pentatonic. And every once in a while, inject those additional notes that we just talked about. Okay? That last bend was a little out. Aeolian, in a similar way, is similar, except for the 6th, which is minor. So you make that 6th minor. Now the charts are available below. Now how do you know? How do you know? Especially if you don't have your guitar, well, you listen to it enough and you recognize it. When I tell you apple, you picture it. You picture an apple. You don't pick an orange because you heard apple enough, and you can even maybe spell it. You can even imagine how it looks like on paper. A-P-P-L-E. Yeah, it's the same thing. Dorian and Aeolian have very characteristic things. Now, your first level of classification is to determine if it's a minor chord or a major chord. And we covered that in the previous video, yesterday's video. Check that out. But then there's a second classification, a second layer, and that's for the sixth, because I said it without saying, the difference between Aeolian and Dorian is only in the sixth. So you just have to kind of hear enough Dorian chord progressions and enough Aeolian chord progressions to know. And if you listen to Pink Floyd at all, you're used to the sound of Dorian. They're very, they love Dorian. The end section of the wall, that big solo, is all Dorian. But this is the sound of Dorian. Not that, because that's just a minor chord. That. I hear some of you saying Santana. Yeah. Anything blues, rocky, Dorian. Aeolian is maybe a little more ballad. Think 80s ballad, like slow dance on the beach, 1987. I was 10. I didn't slow dance on the beach at that time. But you know what I mean? Why 80s? I don't know. Aeolian is more like this. As opposed to Dorian. You hear it? Two different things, right? I'm going to switch to a clean tone, and we're going to play a little game here. I'm going to play a chord progression, and we're just going to play, is this Dorian or Aeolian? All right, here's my first one. We're going to start very simple. So, yes, it's Dorian. What about this one? Yes, Dorian. What about this one? You know Aeolian is coming, right? It's not. Dorian. What's that? Trust your instincts. Dorian. This. It doesn't sound like this, right? It sounded like this. That is Aeolian. So you can see how just by hearing this, it gets easier and easier, right? Now this track, the magnet, ba, 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 that's the bass. What does your gut tell you? If you don't know yet and you have to play minor or major, minor pentatonic. Yes, Dorian. If I played Aeolian, it would clash. Right? It's gotta be Dorian. All right, well, that's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this. And what about Phrygian? Well, leave it. We never use it. Well, we do sometimes, but if you want to hear the sound of Phrygian, well, again, in the assets that you can download for free, there is a Phrygian backing track for you to explore, but that's really essential. How do you do that? How do you get comfortable with it besides doing the work that we did here? Well, Listen to a song that you really, really like and try to figure out what key it's in. You'll never forget the key. But remember, if you had to pick a minor mode, Dorian. If that doesn't work, go with Aeolian. If that doesn't work, you're really out of luck, Phrygian. But all these have in common a minor pentatonic scale. Okay, you can do it. A little bit every day will go a long way. And if you want to perfect your ear, you should check out the very special bundle that is available this week only to go along with these videos. You will get a very, very thorough step-by-step program that will teach you all of that. Anybody could do it with this program. It'll teach you about interval recognition, chord progression, and it's very practical because Chris Lippe, my buddy who is an awesome instructor, and I have put this course together for guitar players specifically. So it's going to serve you. Check it out. The link is below. I'll see you tomorrow for another video about playing by ear, playing guitar by ear. That's where it's at. All right, thanks for watching this. I'll see you tomorrow. Practice well.